God bless.
I heard at the Troskovitz Tavern that you might have a job offer.
Well, you don't look lame. I reckon I could find some work for you.
I also heard you're invited to that big wedding coming up.
That's no business of yours at the moment.
All right. So what kind of work do you have for me?
You'll be carrying sacks of flour.
Well, I probably won't find anything better around here anyway.
The sacks are in the barn, and the wagon is in front of it. I'll give you a groschen for every half dozen you carry. It may not seem like much, but if you don't dawdle, you might even save up for some nag at the Samine stables. I heard they got lucky and recently rounded up a bunch of horses from some company that got routed by bandits. They've got some gray old nag that they're practically giving away. You won't have to buy food. We'll take care of that. And you can sleep here, in the barn. But not on the sacks of flour, you understand? Or I'll tan your hide. Climb up to the loft with the others.
Ah, fuck me.
Careful what you wish for. Go on, get to work. Take care.
Where should I lie down?
Well, it's best if you sleep upstairs, behind the chimney. Go up the stairs to the next floor, and then climb the ladder to the attic. That's where you'll find it.
What's the purpose of the pen beyond the stream?
You notice the bloodstains there, eh? I let my hands practice fist fighting there.
And can I try too?
Why not? Maybe you'll get to go to Zhelyov.
To Zhelyov, you say?
Aye. Once in a while, I send my strongest hand there to test his mettle against the locals. He earns a few groschen, and I sleep better at night when folk around know I have a hulk of a man like that here.
And if I beat your hands, would you send me to Zhelyov? I could also use those groschen.
We'll see. You ain't beaten no one yet.
Where should I lie down?
Well, it's best if you sleep upstairs, behind the chimney. Go up the stairs to the next floor, and then climb the ladder to the attic. That's where you'll find it. God be with you.
I could barely lift it. What the hell is in this thing? Oof. Bit heavy for flour.
A new hand at the mill, huh?
Oh, I'm sweating like a pig. Oh, fuck, that's heavy. What the hell is in this thing? I could barely lift it. Fucking hell. Oh, what a slug. Maybe this one will be lighter. This is no joke. Kurwa.
you got it done.
I said, are you done?
You're milling some pretty peculiar grain here, Miller. It's got a bit of a metallic flavour to it.
Kurva. Can't you be more careful?
Tell me the truth. What are you really doing here?
Seems I'll have to lift the lid off the cauldron of knowledge sooner than I expected. You think you're ready?
Yes.
I'm attempting to convert matter into a truly miraculous energy.
What?
I understand. It seems impossible. I'm sure you're asking yourself what that has to do with the metal in the sacks. But we're only just scratching the surface. You see, for my experiment, I'll need something sinfully earthy. Something we'll have to appropriate. And that's something you can help me with, my curious apprentice.
I'll help you.
That's the right attitude. Now listen up. In Troskovitz, next to the tavern, there's a rat house. And in that rat house, there's a chest. And in that chest is a document I need. One that used to be mine. But due to an unfortunate twist of fate, ended up there. It's called The Offer of Hermes Trismegistos. It's written right on it. Can you read? At least a little?
I can read. But I reckon that's the catch, isn't it?
The catch is, the chest is under lock and key, and most likely well guarded.
Of course it is. And then you'll get me into Semin's wedding?
Aye. If you help me, I'll find a way to get you there. Miller's honor.
No, I doubt the bailiff will let me roam around the rat house and go peeking through his chests. Any advice on getting in there without being spotted?
Oh, come on. Do I really have to spell it out for you? Black clothes, the play of light and dark. A quiet night, and those who live in the shadows, concealed beneath its veil.
Is that supposed to be advice?
Just get some inconspicuous clothing and head over there after midnight.
And where can I get some clothes like that?
I had my outfit washed in the Gilioff bathhouse, but after a bit of disagreement, they refused to give it back. It's my gift to you. All you have to do is pick it up.
Pick them up? You want me to steal them, don't you?
Doesn't it sound like a suitable appetizer before the main course? There's no sense of trying to deal with the owner, Dorothy, anyway. She's a contrary woman who's impossible to talk to.
I'm not even surprised your paths crossed. I'd like to learn more about the art of thievery.
Thievery? Why call it the art of thievery? It's simply an art. But all right, enough wordplay. If you want to learn something, go and see Hensel. He'll tell you how to relieve people of the things in their purses, or how to quickly and painlessly send them to the land of dreams. And if you'd like to try opening locks without a key, there's a chest in the barn that you carried the sacks to. You can practice on that.
Where exactly should I look for this document? I doubt they've only got one chest in the Troskovitz rat house.
I can't help you there, but my hand Zinnik might know more. He had the document on him, but then the bloody fool got caught because of something else, and they took it from him. I'm pretty sure he's still on display in the stocks on the square. Just remember, lad, if you get caught like he did, the guards will turn out your pockets. Then it would be pretty hard to explain what a tramp like you is doing with a document he can't even read.
All right. I reckon I know everything I need. Thanks.
Greetings.
Crazel told me you'd show me how to do a takedown.
Then follow me. So Crazel took you on just like that? Surprising. Crazel hardly trusts anyone. He's a smart man. So don't you even think about betraying him. That would end badly for you. Not to scare you, though. That's not what I'm here for.
You stink like wet dog.
Well then, it's easy. Sneak up behind me and choke me out. I won't fight back the first time, so you should have no trouble. Just remember, you mustn't let me see you.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Shit! That hurt! You knocked me out nicely. It's not worth a damn if I see you. That way your victim will remember you.
I want to try my hand at pickpocketing. Crazel said you could help me with that too.
Why not, since we're here? Come to me.
What do you think you're doing?
Fine.
Damn. These are some fine thieving clothes.
You don't have the best reputation around here.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problem.
Are you Zinnek?
Yeah, look, mate, I really need to piss. Can you let me out of here?
Crazel sent me. He's looking for some document the bailiff took from you.
And what's the password?
Hermes Trismegistos?
I'm just shaking your pizzle. You should have seen your face. They caught me at night when I was robbing a merchant, and then they make any distinction between what I stole and what I already had on me. They took everything, including that document, and locked it all away in the chest of stolen things in the Rat House jail. You could get into the jail from the courtyard behind the Rat House. It's right under the guardhouse. Or you could get there from behind the tavern alongside the fence. As soon as you find the stairs leading down, you'll know you're in the right place.
Well, who's got the key to it?
Well, actually, I had it, but when the guard shook me down, I must have dropped it. It was in the chamber, next to the one with the chest. They've got a pretty soft bed in there, I tell you. The key probably fell under it.
Is that the only key?
No, of course not. Every guard in Troskovitz has one. Best to rob one of them who's slacking off or having a nap. Look, mate, do you actually know how to pickpocket?
Well, I'm still learning, so I could use some advice.
You're in luck. You're speaking to a master. Of course, I am in the stocks just now, but that was just rotten luck. There ain't much I can teach you like this, is there? Better go and see Crazel. Farewell.
How's it going? I'm running. What? Again? So it won't come as a surprise when I refuse again. You know what? Why don't you write a complaint? Shouldn't be hanging around, friend.
The author of Hermes Trismegistos. That's Crazel's document.
You shouldn't be bothering us here.
Greetings, my friend.
I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
I took a look at the document. I couldn't really make much of it. Who's this Hermes Trismegistos?
My fifth cousin. We write to each other sometimes.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
Did you find my family tree at the rat house, too? Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes. Of course.
What now?
That much? We're going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Oh, don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semine.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
Are you yanking my pizzle?
Not at all. I'll get you to the wedding as sure as the heavens are above me, and the fire of the Creator is within me. But you'll have to wait a while. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. It's high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I wouldn't be so sure. But I've taken you on as an apprentice, so I might as well tell you something. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices and theurgy, bring him to life.
A golem? What's that?
A golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish Kabbals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
My word. That sounds incredible. I have to see it.
So far, it's just all in my head. But if you're patient and help me, you'll see soon enough. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. And Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees, and all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now, I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
This has something to do with the alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know much about that stuff.
Nitra is saltpeter. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for young Semine?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired, and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look, that you can point me in the right direction, and also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So Bonnie is most likely a thief, am I right?
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily-liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
How can I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget, you could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnik, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair.
Lord be with you.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
Henry's fine.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like, but I'm mostly curious to see if Crazel will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
No. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zenek in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zenek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the millers finally found a normal hand for once. But it's a shame I don't have my dog Sniffer no more. It was fun with him at least.
Crazel mentioned that he died.
Aye, from some fucking disease. He started getting these lumps all over his body. Then he stopped eating and what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
No. Pa was a blacksmith. I inherited something from him, I hope.
Oh, really? Would you teach me how to make, maybe, barrel hoops?
Those are pretty hard. Wouldn't you rather start with, maybe nails?
Sure. I'm pretty quick to learn and patient. That is, with one exception. When Crazel starts spouting off his alchemy theories, I'd rather run for the hills. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
He seems awfully mystical. He has lots of experience, like as if he's lived for hundreds of years.
It's his beard that does that. Don't let it fool you. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zenek fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Trotsky region, aye. Unfortunately, Krazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Krazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. And Krazel, of course, didn't tell me shit.
Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave. The best natural saltpeter maker.
Krazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Well, I haven't met him yet. Where can I find him?
The cemetery is beyond Troskovitz, towards the Apollonia rocks.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun. And pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskovitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, Henry.
I heard you could teach me something.
Sure, why not? If you pay me, I'll teach you a few of my tricks. What are you interested in? God be with you.
But it's not too bad. God bless.
You must be the local gravedigger, right? I'm Henry.
Ignatius, master of the sod, at your service. Looking for a final resting place? Or do you need to bury a dead goat?
None of that. I have a different, slightly unusual request. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me. We're looking for a saltpeter pit.
From Lower Semine? What pit?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What's it supposed to be? A pit to hell?
Yeah, something like that. At night, you hear the cries of tormented souls and catch the whiff of sulphur.
Well, that I can't help you with.
Not to worry. It's actually just a hole with some rotting carcasses in it. These white crystals form in it. And that's exactly what we're after.
You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about Salty Peter? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really? That was easier than I thought.
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with something first. I have some collections from some Slatigo farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it a bit easy.
You want me to help you with your grave digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella. You'll be a good helper.
Oh, dragging carcasses around isn't exactly a respectable job. But so be it. I'll help you with it. What else can I do?
Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services. And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with their animal carcasses themselves.
Of course, I understand. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honor I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honor if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with my boys Snorter and Dragonfly here? Nice and early, at daybreak.
Let's get this over with then.
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us. Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Bane? Aesop? Got it all. Good. Come on, then. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Semine, eh?
Well, you could say that. I help the miller with whatever I can. I got a place to sleep there. Soon I'll be able to call the miller uncle.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Semine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that Bonnie of yours belong to that gang too?
Bonnie's an honest girl, and her friend Zinnek is too. Crazel only sent them to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties, so that's just what they've been doing. From what she told me, they had nothing else in mind.
Lower Semine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Yeah! Yeah! Whoa, boys! Whoa! Oh, come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
It looks mysterious. What treasures might be hidden there?
You'll soon see. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally, at least we're not blocking the road too much.
Ugh! Jesus, what a stench! Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
What you're on.
Hey! I want to talk to you. Drop it and get over here.
Stop fooling around.
Why are you showing that off? Pathetic. Very good.
What's going on, Ignatius?
I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thieving around here. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
2 stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Take a good look at me. Do I look like a thief? Or more like a commonplace, maybe just slightly grubby, hired hand? At this rate, you could blame any old peasant who's grimy after a hard day's work.
I don't know. I don't reckon I've ever seen a real thief up close.
Ask around about me and you'll find out everyone knows I can't stand a liar. I'll keep my promises and show up on time. So enough talk, and let's carry on to where duty calls us.
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them two thieves, you tell us right away. Got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas. Maybe...
Do you want to keep going or not?
Maybe...
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out, and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on, and let's go. Here he comes, Snorter. Don't worry. That was just a kind of little favour for me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jdar with their carcasses.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop them up and haul them off. I mean, you'll scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
All right, that's what you get. People sin here in their seclusion, thinking they're out of sight of our Lord.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right, I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly.
Ew. Is this really worth it? Something from the bailiff for hauling.
Well, I wish you and your helper.
Did you sleep in a barn or what?
And another.
Pretty hefty, eh? They lived like royalty here.
Get over here so we can carry on.
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
And what about this mysterious curse?
I'm not in the mood to deal with it.
Making sure you don't work any more than you have to, eh? Let's go then. Hop on. We have one more stop before the grand revelation of unimaginable saltpeter treasure. Seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around today. So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Oh, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature, so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
Well, what can I do? But I doubt I'll feel good about it.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Vizar. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Oh, did you sleep in a barn or what? Looking like that.
Good day.
Oh, Sakra! The dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to? barking. It's coming from over there.
Henry, how come you're here? Where'd you come from?
Bonnie? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Now, first, tell me what you're doing here. And how come you're with that beast?
He's no beast. I came here to save him.
You mean steal him?
For him, it'll be a redemption from that horse and master of his. I'll take care of him, in place of my poor dead sniffer.
Bonnie, the gravedigger sent me to kill the dog. He's been paid to do it by the people whose livestock that beast killed. It's the last thing I need to do before he shows me the pit.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zenek and I were here last, I saw how old Vysarik treats him. He doesn't give him food, he abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out how to save that dog. If you want to take him, I won't stop you.
You're a much better Christian than I thought you were. I'll take him to the lair. We'll meet there.
Hurry off now, before someone sees us together.
Come on now, boy. You'll like it in the lair.
Did you sleep in a barn or what?
It's taken care of.
Taken care of? What do you mean?
The dog is dead. So, can we go to the pit now?
Dead, eh? And what are you so nervous about?
Well, it wasn't pleasant to watch. I did it exactly how you told me. I poisoned him.
Oh, aye? And how did it go exactly?
I dipped the meat in the poison. As soon as he ate it, it started devouring him from the inside, until nothing was left of him. It was insane.
Insane, all right. And was there green foam coming from his mouth?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right. Henry, stop trying to make a fool of me. I know when someone's lying to me. Come on, what really happened?
I set the dog free. He didn't deserve to die.
For fuck's sake, didn't deserve to die? We were supposed to get rid of him, 'cause that's just what he deserves.
Bonnie from the mill came and took the dog before we got to him.
Well, fuck me. How much more is that girl going to steal before she has enough?
Oh, she'll take better care of him than Baysar did. All he needs is to be fed properly, and he won't be dangerous anymore.
I surely fucking hope not. Because if he runs off and ravages something or someone again, then we didn't help at all. Let's go before we start looking suspicious.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy, slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
But there's hardly 3 heaps here. Is this really it? Are you yanking my pizzle again?
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more nitre you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. The miller will probably send some people here.
Well, they'd better not dig it all up. That'd disturb the natural balance, see? And soon they'll find out there's no place to find saltpeter.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I'll still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I can't say I'm all that satisfied with your help, but I don't want you to think old Ignatius is an ungrateful bastard, so I have something here for you. Although, to tell the truth, you didn't much grow on me.
Oh, that's a shame. Because I thought you were a pretty good fella. In fact, I'm actually kind of fond of you in a way.
If you're trying to come out smelling of roses now, don't bother. Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it. This I have got to see.
Look at me. From a lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold and salty. This must be it.
Are you afraid of water, or what? Good day to you.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskowitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Krazel, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then, what's the next task then, Krazel?
From behind the closed gates of Trotsky come quiet whispers, carried by the wind, all the way here to me in the mill. Do you hear it too?
No. I reckon my ears aren't that good.
Scribe Erezine received a trunk from Prague, and in that trunk was...
The document of Hermes Trismegistos?
No, a book. And from an author more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance, but the treasure's inside. You might say it's kind of an alchemical cookbook.
So I'm gonna have to pick some locks again, eh? And in the castle, no less. I'd like to know how I'm supposed to get in there. Trotsky is shut tight.
For some. The gates of Trotsky may appear to be closed to us, mere mortals. But why try to force your way in when there's a person they'll invite in themselves?
What person?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got the Samine wedding coming up. I can't wait to try out my new potion against drunkenness there. What about you? You still need to get there?
Certainly. It's why I decided to work for you. Or have you forgotten? I hope your promise still stands.
Of course it does. What do you take me for? Start by quickly finding some decent clothes. Ad charisma tuendum. You look like a vagabond in what you're wearing now. St. Paul wouldn't be pleased with you.
So you'll really get me into that wedding? Am I dreaming?
No, you're not. But before you start celebrating, we won't be going by ourselves. We'll have company. Or, to be more exact, the two of us will be accompanying a certain person. Me as a friend and host, and you as a bodyguard, loyal servant. Call it what you will.
It'll be some female, right?
Correct. But not just any female. A true lady will come to the wedding with us. Radiant as the morning star, refined as pure gold. All will be stunned by her beauty, and she'll be our lockpick that will find the weak spot in the gate to Trotsky. All it'll take is a little push, and clunk, the lock will open, and the book will be mine.
What weak spot?
The castle's weak spot is Chamberlain Ulrich, because he himself has a weakness for women. Of all the single damsels at the wedding, ours will be the most charming and irresistible for him. Noble or not, he's a mortal man, and he'll start to think with his male member. We will watch as he becomes feverish with lust. Soon, he'll be begging to take our companion to Trotsky. He'll pretend his motives are pure, so she'll be more comfortable. And when the Chamberlain becomes insistent, you, as her personal bodyguard, will accept his offer. Naturally, he'll say you won't leave her side so you can defend her honor. Once in Trotsky, Ulrich will do everything to get you to leave him alone with her. And that will be your chance.
I can hardly believe that you, of all people, would come up with such a straightforward plan.
Well, it's not all that straightforward. I admit there's a certain element here that makes everything more complicated. First, we have to find our gracious lady.
Where do you want to find this lady? Here.
Look, she doesn't have to be a lady per se. We just need a wench with a pretty face. We'll get her a nice dress, some perfume. She doesn't even have to speak. We'll do the talking.
I'm not a matchmaker.
Who's talking about matchmaking? You go and show what's on offer. That's all. Nothing improper will happen, most likely. But even so, we need a woman who's ready for anything. You can find lots of capable girls at the Gelioff baths, including some who aren't so well known. It's true, Dorothy can be a bit unpleasant, but you'll be giving her an offer she can't refuse.
Dorothy owns the bathhouse?
Aye, next to the alehouse there. You'll tell her I'm offering enough groschen to buy 2 cows or a small cottage. That should soften her up.
All right. I'll take care of it.
Excellent. You're a talented, likable youngster, like Knight Roland of yore. I have complete faith in you. And don't forget, we're going to need to dress the girl up and make her smell nice so she comes across like a real lady. So, stop off at Troskowitz as well and get her a nice brocade dress and some long-lasting perfume. Mentha would be ideal.
Where can I find the dress?
Where do you think? The butcher's? Go and see the tailor. Bartoszek has just the thing in his shop. A beautiful red dress made of Tyrolean brocade.
Why that dress exactly?
Because red is the color of love and passion. The rich Tyrolean brocade is just begging to be touched. Ulrich won't know where to look. The dress is likely to be pretty expensive, but that's no obstacle for you, right?
Where can I find the perfume?
Emmerich the apothecary might have something. They say he makes some perfume for his wife. Or ask Betty the innkeeper. She may be a god-awful battle axe, but a nice-smelling one. Or get hold of the recipe and make your own mintha. As an alchemy apprentice, you should be able to manage.
I'll be going then.
Once you've got everything ready for the wedding, we'll meet in front of the fortress gate. There, I'll let our lady in on some other details of our plan. But that won't be for your ears. Anyway, you'll be rehearsing your speech to Lord von Berghoff then, won't you?
I can't wait.
Good Lord, what did you roll around in?
My, that's some...
Greetings.
Krazel has an offer for you.
What does that old goat want this time?
He's looking for a girl for the Samim wedding.
What, for himself?
No. He needs her to pose as a lady.
A lady? You mean a noblewoman?
Something like that.
Well, I don't know if any of my girls could pull it off. They can't even eat like a noble with cutlery.
That won't be a problem. She won't even have to say much.
That sounds a bit odd, but all right. How much is he offering?
He says he can offer enough groschen for you to buy 2 cows. Or a small cottage.
It's quite a lot for our usual services.
Isn't it?
But something's fishy. Out with it, lad. Who does Krazel really want the girl for?
For the Chamberlain.
For Ulrich? You know what? I'm tired of this. Let's go and see what the girls have to say. They'll tell you about what they've been through with the Master Chamberlain. Girls, come here. Right, girls. We have a messenger here from Goodman Krazel. Tell us what you wanted to ask.
It's about the Samim wedding.
And the Chamberlain, who one of you should attend to.
God, anything but that. Dorothy, I actually have a lot of work to do, and...
Well, who wants to go first? Anna.
What should I say?
What should she say,
Tell me, why don't you want anything to do with the Chamberlain?
Well, the Lord Chamberlain invited me to Trotsky, and the girls warned me that it would be different to what I was used to. So I asked him if I should take a different soap or something. Or does the Master Chamberlain not like silk? Or if his bed is hard and my back will hurt.
If only.
But they said I'd have to do things that... How'd you put it?
Things they haven't even thought of in hell.
I thought the Master Chamberlain might be of a different religion, and that fucking a Christian girl would be a sin. But he believes in the same God as the rest of us.
Which makes it all the worse.
Then I thought maybe he was cruel to the girls, but I hear that's not the case either. It's not what he wants to do to us that's against God.
But what he wants us to do to him.
I thought he had leprosy.
Tell the girls how much Crazel is offering.
Enough that you'll be able to buy 2 cows.
Or even a small cottage. Not bad, eh? Well, is anyone willing to go with the Chamberlain?
Not even for a golden goose.
I'd rather be celibate.
I thought he had leprosy.
Aye, but it's a tidy sum. I reckon I'll have to choose one of you myself.
Dorothy, I swear that
I'm not going anywhere. You can't make me.
Dorothy, I'll scrub all the tubs here for the rest of my life, I swear. All of them, every day.
I'll do that too, and I'll even take care of the outhouses.
Girls, come now.
I'll go then. If I can handle it a second time, it'll be a miracle. And maybe they'll even make me a saint.
No, you can't. Dorothy, please don't make her do that again.
Dorothy, for the love of God.
Calm down, girls. Don't worry. I'll never send you to the Chamberlain again. I just wanted to show Crazel's lackey here what you've been keeping from me for so long.
Christ almighty. I was starting to accept my fate.
God in heaven.
Oh, I feel filthy just thinking about it. I'd like to jump in a bath.
So, in case you didn't get the message, lad, no girl from Zhelioff is going with the Chamberlain.
All right. What am I supposed to do now?
Do what you like. We've said our piece. Go and find some heathen girl. A harlot like that came here recently, asking for work. She was from them nomads.
Aye, I remember her. Nose in the air, talking fancy like some scholar.
She introduced herself as Enneline of Winterthur, like she was some noblewoman.
I didn't trust her for a moment. She was pretty, though. There's no denying that. I wanted to give her a chance, but she asked for so much coin. I thought I must be hearing things. Try asking after her in the camp. Maybe she's got a stronger stomach than my girls.
Poor thing.
I'll pray for her.
Well, thank you.
Praised be Jesus Christ.
Good day.
At the mill?
Yeah, place by the Zherovska stream.
What then? Has the water sprite been up to his mischief again? What's that sound?
Hey, lad! What do you want? Come here.
I'm not going anywhere. Make me.
You're a dead man! You want to try? Oh, Christ! Too slow!
A nice bit of venison, and something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Dead, and robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him.
Have you seen Pavlena anywhere, Henry?
Have you seen a stray dog around? I thought he was dead, but he's likely still alive.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen any dogs around.
Oh, Sakra. Do you have any idea where else he might have gone?
If I were a dog, I'd go to where there's food. There are plenty of fishermen around the pond, and they're always throwing out leftovers at the tavern.
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover food?
I don't know much about dogs. He could have run into the woods and started hunting. He wouldn't be the first or the last. There's a whole pack of wolves near Samine these days. Maybe your dog's gone feral and is running around with them.
Thanks.
The deity
It's a
moves
cause me to
forward
even
making a
utter
record.
the word.
The
Word is fuck.
Careful.
What can I do for you?
I'm as hungry as a wolf.
Standing in the street till 5 in the morning.
What are you two talking about then?
A peasant like you would never understand.
Watch your mouth, you impudent dog.
Or what? You'll smear it with that excrement under your fingernails? But let's bicker no more, stranger. Perhaps you can be our judge. What's your name?
My name is Henry.
Then sit, noble Enrico, and give your verdict on our dispute.
Oi, don't be shy. Come and sit with us.
It's Henry. H-E-N... whatever.
Ah, any tanner or bathhouse boy could be called Henry. Enrico is nobilissimo.
Oh, for the love of God. Will you just tell me what you were discussing?
It's just that my dear friend George here is a vulgar louse who knows as much about the art of poetry as a baying donkey.
To tell the truth, my last encounter with verse didn't end all that well.
Really? Come on, let's discuss it over a beer.
Man to man, poet to poet.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say I was...
Sit.
So, you going to tell me what you're talking about?
It's about nothing less than the very essence of the art of poetry.
And also about the fact that Michael here hasn't got his oats for ages and it's got his brain in a twist.
Kindly ignore our friend George here. He's been a simple soul ever since he was dropped on his head as a baby.
Freedom. I figured out poetry ain't to be found in inspiration from the muse. All the truth in the world is right there in ale, roast pig, and fucking.
To the point where fornication and drinking leave no time for actual composing. Better to forego the pleasures of the flesh and give oneself to art. Onorate l'altissima poeta.
Aye, aye. Keep your hair on, mate. As I said, he's not in his right mind. He once met an Italian poet, and ever since he thinks he's Dante Alighieri.
Alighieri, you dolt. So what do you think, Enrico? Where should a poet seek inspiration?
Well, I rather doubt it's to be found in beer or some wench's cleavage. Those might be nice to look at, but an artist should seek inspiration in higher things.
My very words. Let's drink to that.
However you look at it, you, my friend, as a worldly...
and highborn...
clever...
experienced...
intrepid...
unique...
in short, just the right fella...
you might be able to help us out with something.
Look, I don't have all day, so if you have something to say, get straight to the point, without all the poetic horse shit.
That's exactly our way, friend.
Short and to the point. That's us.
Enrico, we are in need of an adventurer.
My name's Henry. H-E-N... something...
In short, Enrico, we're in need of an adventurer, a man of action, a man of goodwill, a man of knowledge, a man...
a fucking good fella.
A fellow who helps his fellow man. Aspiring minstrels.
If only you knew, mate, what genius is sleeping in our throats. Songs just waiting for a voice to raise you to the heights of glory.
Imagine it. An ode to Henry, the hapless, hoe-wielding hero, harassing the heartless hordes of
humans?
That's it! Hark! Henry the Lionheart! The only thing missing for you to achieve glory is...
a lute! We need a lute!
All right, but where would I even get a thing like that?
In the words of the poet, una volta corre il cane, e una altra la lepre. He who seeks shall find, or something like that.
And finding it won't be hard. We've done a bit of snooping, and there's only one in these parts.
It's hanging all forlorn on a wall at the carpenters in Troskowitz. The house directly opposite the Rathaus.
It ain't no use to him, but he won't sell it, the tight ass.
Well, if it were in our hands...
In our hands, it will sing like a nun on Sunday.
And it will be the torch lighting our way from this provincial purgatory to the gates of Kuttenberg.
Torch? Shit, you want to fucking burn it?
It's a metaphor, you ignorant oaf.
All right, I'll see what I can do. Please just quieten down for a bit.
Finally, some peace and quiet.
Do you really think Henry...
Greetings, what do you need?
My dog got lost not far from here. Did you see him, by any chance?
I haven't seen any dogs round here for a while, but I hear there's wolves in the forest causing problems. Just the other day, a shepherd boy from Kopanina complained that his sheep were being eaten by the flea-ridden beasts.
Where can I find this shepherd?
Siegfried? He has a hut at Kopanina. It's just below the castle, on the back slope of the hill.
And you haven't heard anything else about wild dogs?
Here, in the tavern? No, but there was a fella here who gets by doing a bit of poaching. He said once he was hunting when, right in front of him, a large pack attacked a deer. A mix of wolves and dogs, he said. That's not something you see every day.
Do you know where that was?
How would I know where he goes hunting? But I'd say it was in the forest.
Show me your wares.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything?
I should eat something. I could go for something to eat now. I need something to eat.
Dominga, you look just like...
And with you?
Oh, so hungry I could eat a horse.
God be with you. What would you like?
Are you Mistress Eneline of Winterthur?
Winterthur, Lyon, Vienna. It doesn't matter. What do you want?
I'm Henry. I was sent by Miller Crazel. We have a job offer for you.
Huh. How did you find out about me?
At the Zhelyov Baths. They said you asked about a job there.
I realised straight away it was a bad idea. What a pit. That cow who runs the place almost fainted when I talked about coin. If she had any idea my real value is 10 times higher. But be that as it may, what's the job?
To go to the Semine wedding with us. As a companion.
A wedding, you say? The last time I was at a wedding was in Nevers, France. I had to sing there. I'd like to avoid that this time.
You don't have to sing. Or even say much. All you have to do is behave like a lady.
Behave like a lady? Do you mind? I am one. Or hadn't you noticed?
Sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
All right then. How much?
Crazel's offering enough to buy 2 cows.
Cows? Me? I was offered an estate for my services in Antwerp, and a 30-foot gondola in Venice. Although this is only Trotsky after all, I can't expect too much in this backwater. All right then, I'll do it. But first, tell me this. What can I expect at this Semine?
You'll be treated to the finest food there. Meat, cakes, maybe even fish.
Lovely. And what else?
Now that Trotsky is closed, there's no more prominent stronghold in the region than Semine Fortress. Someone will surely give you a tour and show you the magnificently decorated chambers.
Tempting. Tempting. And what else?
I even hear Lord Otto von Berghoff will be there. The Lord of Trotsky. Someone will surely introduce you to him. Well, and wherever von Berghoff goes, he's followed by the second most important man in the domain. The Chamberlain of Trotsky, Sir Ulrich von Schaumburg.
The Chamberlain? As in the castle caretaker? I'm not interested in some little clerk.
You should be. He's the one Crazel wants you to pay attention to at the wedding.
Pay attention? How?
So you two can... how can I put it? You know, get friendly. Intimate. In a romantic way, if you get me.
I beg your pardon? Do you take me for some cheap whore? A harem girl? A brothel wench? A bathhouse hussy?
I'm sorry, but...
Silence! I am Eneline, a companion, a courtesan. I am courted by gentlemen vying for my favour. I have been a concubine in Krakow, a mistress in Venice, and a gentleman's companion in Basel. My name is known in Brandenburg, Marseille, and Malopolska. I have fulfilled the wildest wishes of the most important commanders of Sigismund's army. Until he stopped paying, the ginger bastard, I'll do my work the way I see fit. Got that?
All right. Got it.
I should hope so. So, to the point. What do you want from the Chamberlain?
It's mainly about a book we need to borrow from Trotsky. And the way to get it leads right through the Chamberlain and his quarters. And maybe through his bed. I don't know the exact details. Crazer will tell you himself.
So, common theft. That's a bit of a disappointment. I've played a part in assassinations and rebellions, and now I'm reduced to this. Helping to steal a book. But why not? I expect it won't be anything too complicated, and the coin is certainly worth it.
Not so fast. It won't be that easy with the Chamberlain.
Why do you think that?
Just so you know, Crazel originally wanted to take a bath wench to the wedding, but the girls said they didn't want anything to do with him because of his special tastes. I asked them what's behind it, and, well, some wanted to vomit after meeting him. Others said they started considering the convent.
Poor girls. Here in the arse end of the world, girls are no doubt used to just lying on their backs and staring up at the ceiling.
Well, it seems it's not about what Chamberlain Schaumburg did to them, but what he wanted them to do to him.
I knew a Schaumburg from Nuremberg, and he was a hermaphrodite. He had both, things. A respected person, a member of the town council. It can catch you off guard, because you don't know what you're getting into. Maybe it's also the case with the local bathwenchers. But I don't want to make fun of the girls. Not everyone wants to try new tricks, if you know what I mean. I must say, I'm quite curious about the Chamberlain now.
We're agreed, then?
Certainly. Believe me, it takes a lot to put me off. And just in case, there's this potion I carry around. A couple of drops and the Chamberlain will sleep like a log. Except I've run out of wine. I should have some at hand, just to be sure.
There'll be lots of wine at the wedding.
I suppose. But I won't complain if you find me something beforehand. There's one more thing, though. I don't think anyone will believe I'm a lady in these old rags.
Don't worry about that. Crazel told me to get hold of a dress and some perfume for you.
What dress?
A red one. Tyrolean brocade.
Brocade. I like it. Crazel clearly knows what he's doing. Are you going to the wedding as well?
As your bodyguard.
Well, don't think you're going in what you're wearing now. You'd look like a beggar I brought along out of pity. Sort it out. And as for that perfume, it ought to be one that lasts a long time.
Crazel suggested Minter.
I'll take his word for it. Hurry up, then. We don't want to keep the Chamberlain waiting.